Nothing coming from behind. We're all good to go. Nice timing. Great. Again, nice time. That's exactly when I would have changed gear. Once they start to let that speed drop now, so you've got plenty of time to get into second gear before you get to the roundabout, and time to get your clutch pedal back up again.
That wasn't great.
That was absolutely fine. Honestly, that was fine. It's great that you're a little bit of a perfectionist, but I can promise you that absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Again, if you feel like it, build up a bit.
I really enjoy it. Like, I find it really fun.
Good. It should be fun. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's serious as well.
Yeah.
But it should be enjoyable at the same time. Okay, so we're preparing to turn right. We're going to use the same sort of markers to help us know when to start bringing the speed of the car down. Okay, so we let the speed drop when we get to the red post box. Okay.
Am I going in the second one that's directly opposite?
Yeah, so now we can start to get it into second gear. Okay, now there's nobody coming the other way, so we'll be able to steer straight in. Keep your position here, just come off the gas a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, look at your lamppost now and steer towards the lamppost, and now straighten up, and we're on the correct side of the road. Just leave it in second gear as we go over these speed bumps. Okay, now you can't see it at the moment, but down where the red and white posts are,
Yeah.
the area opens right up and we've got loads of space to steer around.
Okay.
So we're going to steer in before we get to the first post, and then we're going to steer around the back of the second post and back out along this road. Now, just to make life easy for yourself, I'll just slide it back into first gear here, because you're going to have quite a lot of steering to do, particularly to go around the second post. You don't want to start steering too soon. That's it, and again, steer with your
Straight
eyes.
past this one.
Yep, going back up the road that we've just come down. Back onto our side of the road. I know there's no white line that runs down the middle, but there often isn't with roads. You just need to paint it in with your imagination. And always stay over on the left unless you have to come round something.
Should I be in second? Oh,
Doesn't really matter,
okay.
to be honest. Okay, now when we get to the end, we're going to turn left. We're going to use the feathering the clutch technique again, because we don't know if it's going to be safe to drive out. Now the important thing when we're turning left is to try to follow the line of the curb round. So again, you're steering with your eyes, you're looking at the way the curb bends, and you're letting the front of the car follow that bend.
Oh, sorry.
So as you creep forward, look at the bend. Bring this towards the curb. And bring us to a stop. Cool. Fantastic. Really nice work.
Thank you.
Right. What I'm going to suggest now, we've got choices. Okay. So I said to you to begin with, I think once we've practiced here, we could go over to a little quiet residential area and practice the same thing, but if you like, out on the open road. And I still think that's a good choice, okay? But I think we've got another choice as well, okay? And it's really your personal preference.
Yeah.
The other choice would be, if you like, less technically challenging than what you're doing at the moment. Because to be honest, the early stages of driving, where you're doing lots of gear changing, first, second, going slow speeds, lots of turning left, lots of turning right, round roundabouts, lots of clutch work. Yeah, that is, if you like, the more technical end of the spectrum of driving. Because you're multitasking, you're doing a lot of different things with your hands and your feet and your eyes and what have you.
Yeah.
Okay. The alternative style of driving is getting out on an open road where all you're doing is just pointing the car basically in a straight line. You're building up speed and you're going through the gears, but you don't have any left or rights to deal with. You don't get many roundabouts. You're going at much higher speeds, but basically all you're doing is pointing the car in a straight line and just going wherever the road takes you. Okay. Now, given that you're going at much higher speeds and other vehicles coming towards you and from behind are going at higher speeds, to begin with, it can push the anxiety up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because
Thinking about it makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's the first time you've done it, and it's like anything else. The first time is always the scariest time. But what most people find is once they're actually out on the open road, they've built up speed with my help and guidance, and they've gone through gears, and they're in fourth or fifth gear, and they're up to 50 miles an hour, then again, that adrenaline starts to drain away, the shoulders drop, the breathing comes back, and it feels relatively relaxed.
Yeah.
Okay, and suddenly you realise that actually driving at speed in a much higher gear isn't anywhere near as difficult or as scary as perhaps you might have thought it would be. Okay, I think both options are perfectly valid. All right.
I don't know.
Don't worry, it's the car doing its own thing. Yours may well do the same if it's a stop-start car.
Yeah.
Okay. So really, it's down to your personal preference. We could start off with one and then move to the other. And it doesn't matter which way round we do that.
Could we go to the residential area first?
Yeah.
Just to do a bit there. Because it's, you know, if you're going really fast, it's when you get to a junction changing gear again. That's a bit less stressful.
Okay, cool. Let's
Going
swap.
from like really high to...
Yep, that's fine.
low again.
Let's swap seats. I'll drive us over to this area. Right, I'm going to move your seat back, but I'm not going to change anything else. Your mirrors aren't set up correctly for me, but I can always dip down a little bit if I need to.
It feels quite small. I have to pull my seat all the way forwards as far as it'll go in my car.
Right, so let me give you a little bit of guidance then in terms of going at higher speeds. Okay, it's a timing thing. Okay, as long as you're timing things correctly, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, you should still have plenty of time to get everything under control. So in fourth gear, I'm going 30 miles an hour. Coming up to a roundabout, turning right. So I just need to give myself time to get everything in. So I start bringing the speed down from back here. Now I can put an indicator on to let people know. Now I can get into second gear, have time to look all around, look at where I want the car to go to next, steer in that direction, let people know I'm coming off. To the roundabout. Okay, so again it's a timing thing, so I'm going to put a signal on now to let people know where I'm going. Slow down, keep slowing down until I can see clearly. It's safe, I can drive on. I can see quite a long way up the road. can see we're coming into a national speed limit, and it's still all clear ahead. So I'm absolutely fine now to pick up speed. Okay, I can pick up speed quite rapidly. Okay, I'm into 6th. So I'm into 5th, now into 6th. Okay, but now I can see there's a change of speed limit coming up. So I don't want to wait until I get there and then slam the brake on.
Yeah.
So I start to brake gently from back here. Now I'm back down to 40 miles an hour. Because I'm going at a lower speed, I want to be in a lower gear. So I go into 4th. And now everything's back under control again.
So you don't have to go back through the gears, you can go like...
You can skip gears out. Okay. Both when you're going up through the gearbox, but I suppose more commonly when you're coming down through the gearbox. So you could be in 6th gear, be going at 60 miles an hour, and then you see something further up the road that you're going to need to stop for, maybe like a red traffic light. Just leave it in 6th. Just brake only, carry on braking, let the speed drop, keep braking, let the speed drop more. Then just right at the last moment, just slide it into 1st gear as you're braking to a stop, and then you're ready to go again.
Yeah. When you get to a traffic light, should you take your foot off the clutch again? Or should you keep it down?
You only bring your clutch pedal back up again when you want the car to start moving.
Okay, so you can leave it down?
You leave it down unless you're going to take it out of gear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to turn left at the roundabout. So I'm in 4th gear at the moment. Bring the speed down a little bit more into 2nd. Keep bringing the speed down because that's giving me the time to look to the right. Now I can see it's clear and I can drive on. And all I'm doing now is still regulating the amount of power that's going through to the wheels with the clutch pedal. That's all the clutch pedal does really. It just regulates the amount of power going from the engine through to the wheels. So with the clutch all the way up, you get 100% transference of power. With the clutch all the way down, you get 0. And then around biting point, you're just letting little bursts of power go through. To where our practice area is. So I'm going to be turning right, exactly the same as you did on the industrial estate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm checking behind, making sure it's safe. I'm letting people know where I'm planning on going. There's nobody coming down the road towards me. I'm fine in 2nd gear. Speed's under control. I'm looking at the lamppost because that's where I want to start steering initially, and then I straighten up. Now, it might not always be a lamppost that you're looking at as you start to steer in, but you're just looking at where you're looking on the correct side of the road that you want to steer into. Okay, so we're in a 20-mile-an-hour zone now, so I'm going to leave it in 2nd gear anyway. And even though I'm going slow, there's a bit of risk coming up because I'm coming up to a roundabout. I need to look over to the right to work out whether it's going to be safe for me to drive on or not. So even this speed is too fast for me to make that decision.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I can't see anything, I still can't see clearly, so I still need to bring the speed down. Now I can see, and that gives me time to gently brake and stop into 1st gear. And then I just pull away like you would if you're pulling away from the side of the road. Now I'm going to turn into this side road. It's a one-way street. You'll notice by the blue sign with the white arrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now with a one-way street, when you're turning right, as we're going to here, you position yourself over to the right. Okay, because there's nobody going to be turning into this road on this side, and by positioning ourselves over here, if somebody were going straight on or turning left, we've left space for them to do that. Okay, now again here we're going to use this feathering the clutch technique because I can't see anything at the moment. I've no idea if there's anything coming down the road or not. So I just bring the car out really, really, really slow. Now I can see it's clear. I'll keep the car moving. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to give you a quick heads up in terms of the route that we're going to do.
Okay.
All right, just so that you can see from the comfort of the passenger seat what you're going to be dealing with ish. Okay, so checking all around, moving off when it's safe. Now to begin with, what I would recommend is you leaving it in first gear because we've got a very, very tight bend coming up. Okay. You could go into second and then back down into first, but if you want, just leave it in first. Okay, now what you'll notice in your car as well, because it's a diesel, is if I take my foot away from the gas pedal now, so I've got no feet anywhere near the pedals, it'll still drive itself about 5 miles an hour. Okay, and then that gives you time to go around this very, very tight bend very slow because we could get something coming the other way. Now whenever you've got a gap between parked vehicles and the curb, what you want to do is imagine the gear stick is in the middle of the car, which it is, and you want to aim the middle of the car at the middle of the gap. So look at the gap, don't look at the cars or look at the curb. Because again, as we've already found out, your hands tend to naturally steer to where your eyes are looking. And if you're looking at a car, I know it sounds bonkers, but you'll start to steer towards it. So when you're driving, you always want to look basically at thin air because that's what you want to hit. You want to hit thin air. So we always look at what we want to hit. Okay, build up speed a little bit into second. And just keep the speed nice and low. It is a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit on this road, but we can't see what's around these bends. So going 30 would be too fast. Until we can see much further up the road. So here, for example, now we can build up a little bit of speed, but then we've got another bend coming up where we can't see that much, and we could get vehicles coming towards us on our side of the road, so we just bring the speed down a little bit to compensate. So again, giving ourselves more time to react to anything that we might see. Now at the end of the road we're going to turn left, so exactly the same as you did when you turned left at the end of the road on the industrial estate. So we're going to put an indicator on, let people know where we're going. Gently braking and clutch down and following the line of the curb round. Feathering the clutch technique, keep the car rolling if it's all clear. Wait until we're straightened up, bit of speed, back into second. Just keeping it at this speed. Now this car may hold back or they may come through, but it's fine. Again, even though we're going only 20 miles an hour, it's twice as fast as we want to be going when we get to the giveaway line. Okay, because we need that time to look. So we're bringing the speed down from back here. It's going to be safe. So we're going to put an indicator on. Leave it on because we're coming off again. And put it on again so people behind know we're turning into this side road. Looking into the road that we're steering into, and then preparing to turn right at the end. Again, checking behind, there's nobody there, but we'll let this car with its lights on know that we're preparing to turn right. Clutch down into first gear, feathering the clutch, coming out super slow until we can see it's clear. Bit more power through to the wheels, and then power away from the wheels again to bring us to a stop. Okay? Any thoughts on that little route?
No.
Pretty straightforward?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. Okay, back over to you then.